Hello and welcome to English. This is session 5 of our historical documentary. Today we're going to focus on ethical researchers confronting their own biases. We'll discuss that. The picture I have for you here today is one of our 12 topics that you can choose from, the Electoral College. And that is going to be really significant because on Wednesday, the Congress votes to ratify the Electoral College. Okay. And there's going to be some contesting, I believe, of the votes. So it'll be an interesting situation to watch. Okay, and then the inauguration will be on January 20th. Okay, this is on our Electoral College, which we studied earlier in the fall in history. As always, our second slide has our directions. Just like we did yesterday, we're going to do two things. We're going to talk a little bit about what I mentioned about the word bias and what that is, and fact and opinion as well. And then again, we're going to give you most of the time to continue our research in our writer's notebook. Okay. Also, I pointed this out yesterday, the yellow box here about checking your grades, and then making sure that if you have any missing work that you can do, you can turn that in for me. That would be great. Okay. As I went through yesterday, just the overall big picture here of our grading for our historical documentary. It's going to be two parts in our writer's notebook. I won't bother going through the whole thing again like I did yesterday, but this will be one set of points, and then we'll be talking about our screencastify that we'll be making and the things that we need to include in that as we go. All right, so for today, we have two things I want to mention. Okay, the first one here is when you write a documentary, you're looking for facts and not opinions. Okay, and we're looking for facts that are proven. All right, and over here we have some ideas of what facts are. It's a piece of information. Okay, it can be proved with verifiable evidence. It's objective. Our opinions. Okay, a view or judgment of something you cannot be proven. It's personal, it's subjective. Okay, it may differ according to different people. And over here, if you look at this comparison chart, I'm not going to read through these all. Again, these on your notes, you can take a look. You guys have in eighth grade, you pretty much know the difference between fact and opinion. But the reason I bring this up is just to make sure that we understand that when we're looking for this information and we're making our documentary, we're not trying to take a side on anything here. We're just presenting facts, okay, and information, and that's what we're going to be presenting in our historical document. Okay, I've got a couple examples here. Facts are real. Clifford is a character from a book. I love reading Clifford because he is cute and helpful. Cute and helpful is an opinion. Clifford is a character from a book is a fact. Over here on the right side, I've got some facts and opinions, okay? Rabbits are mammals. Polar bears need fat to stay warm. Frogs are amphibians. These are all facts. Opinions. Kittens are cuter than puppies. Animals should not live in zoos. And French fries are tasty. So again, just quick examples, difference between facts and opinions. Okay. The other term I want to get to today is bias. Bias is a feeling or an inclination to show prejudice against someone or something based on your beliefs. This is a difficult thing in people's works when you're reading articles or you're doing your articles not to show your bias. And one of the problems is that in bias, to recognize that we have a bias is huge. We may not know when we're talking about something that we have a bias. It may be unconscious. It's just something we think about. To be able to step back and look at something and say, oh, maybe I do have a bias towards something one way or the other. And again, we don't want to do that. We don't want to share beliefs. We just want to do facts. Okay. So some examples that we have different types of bias. One is called confirmation bias, and this is a pretty common one. This is the tendency to search for or interpret or recall information that supports a belief that you already have. And, honestly, you see this a lot in politics today on both sides. You can kind of find that where people kind of cherry pick information and, oh, what about this? What about that? And as they're scrolling through, they'll find 10 facts and they find 3 of them that support their position. And they'll only talk about those 3 rather than the other 7. Okay. So, again, that's called confirmation bias. Over on the right side here, different types of bias here. We just talked about confirmation. Okay, racism, you don't know that, self-serving, hindsight, okay. Again, just a lot of different types of biases. It's your feelings towards a topic. All right. Tribalism is doing a group with people to a group. That's happening in our politics on both sides now. Prejudice, discrimination, racism, sexism, stereotypes. So these are considered unconscious biases, things that we might have, but we may not recognize it. An interesting thing is other people might be able to recognize this in us, but it may take a while for us to recognize it in ourselves. Okay. Another type of a bias is called an emotional attachment. Like I've been a huge Packer fan forever, and I can say Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback ever. Now, he may be, okay, it's maybe true or not, but I have to recognize that I have an emotional attachment to the Packers. So I'm going to think Aaron Rodgers is better than, Patrick Mahomes, or if you go down through the history of great quarterbacks, Joe Montana. Some of you guys may not have heard of these, but you have an emotional attachment. I got to recognize that I might think that person is better than what they are. Another type is called folk knowledge, where you grow up learning about certain customs and traditions that you have, and you think this is the only way of doing something. And as you get older and you get more exposed to things, you can see that, oh, there's other way of doing things. Okay, so traditional medicine versus other medical beliefs, that would be one. Okay, and again, a lot of this applies like maybe to different cultures, growing up in different areas in the country where they have different things they take and different views towards medicine. So just some examples. This gentleman's here, his name is Jonathan Osborne. We were just looking up some information about doing research, and he just said, if you have an emotional bias combined with folk knowledge of things that you've had in your culture, that could be bias. So you want to make sure. Again, I think the message we're trying to have here is just be aware when you're of your feelings toward a topic. When you're writing, you're trying not to have those feelings come out, which is really hard to do. Okay. And again, lastly, here it says here, documentaries are informational, not persuasive. You're not trying to get somebody to come on your side about something. That's not the purpose of a documentary. It's just presenting the facts. Okay. And we'll talk more about this as we go. But it is a huge thing going forward. And today we're talking about our personal bias. The next two lessons we're going to have is we're talking about authors' biases that you may read, and then another day of talking about sites that you go to that they may have biases, and it may not come out right away when you're looking at a certain article. But if you dig a little deeper, you'll find that they definitely have an agenda or a bias they're trying to promote. Just like we did before, our homework page here, what I'd like you to do now is continue looking for your sources. Remember, you have to have 5 sources by Monday. We're going to do eat one source a day this week, including on Wednesday. You want to have the links, you want to have the notes, and you want to have a picture of it. So we're giving you a lot of time now to go ahead and find the notes. And again, make sure you're aware not to include your bias and just have facts. All right. Thank you very much. Good luck. Join our Google Meets live, especially the first 10 minutes if you can. That's very helpful to those students that are doing that. If you have any questions, please email me. Thank you and good luck, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye.